Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show, the K-More Sports Report. Happy Sunday to everyone. Week 4 of the NFL season. Titans versus the New York Jets. We'll break this game down for you. Of course, we'll get to our inactive list. We'll look at the matchups today. We'll look at the injuries today. And then, of course, we'll get to our pick six picks a little bit later in the show. Thank you guys for being patient. A little late this morning. Had a couple of things going on. Had a big college football game last night, so my voice is a little raspy this morning. So forgive me for that, but thank you guys for joining in. And I definitely appreciate you guys always being here. We'll definitely get to your comments and everything in just a moment. But let's jump right now first into the matchups. We'll get to the inactive list probably in about 7 to 10 minutes. That will be coming out shortly. Of course, you guys know about the major injuries, but we'll take a look just to get the official count on who's out and who's in this afternoon. First of all, good morning to you guys. Jeremy Squire, first in, tighten up. Good morning, sir. Anthony Hayes in the house. Good morning, sir. Kent in the house. What's up, man? Tighten up. Got a bad football team we need to take care of today. Ian in the house. What's up, buddy? Tighten up, man. My boys, Two-Tone Zone, all day, every day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. By the way, you guys have a great show. You guys make sure you check out Two-Tone Zone. Those guys are doing some great things. My boy, Rossi in the house. Rossi, we're going to have to get together on a collab at some point. And Chad is in the house as well. So let's get right into it because we're already a little late for the show. So first and foremost, let's look at the matchups today. Clowney Super Bowl in the house. We need to see what Josh Reynolds can do today. We absolutely need to see what Josh Reynolds can do today. Also, almost forgot the housekeeping duties. Please click that subscribe button. Please smash the like button. And if you guys have a Venmo account and if you want to donate to the show, as we always say, it's not a super chat, kind of like a super chat, same value as a super chat. Hit me up at Kenneth-Moore-8667 if you guys want to donate to the show. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the matchups for this ball game today. On offense, top of the screen, look to your right. The Jets have struggled mightily this year. They're either last or close to last in every offensive category this season. They are 30th in total yards, 289 yards per game. They only average 170 yards passing, which is 30th, 80 yards per game on the ground, which is 29th. They're averaging a league worst 6.7 points per game, and they only convert 33% of their first downs. So what does that tell you? Even though the Titans will be limited offensively today, they should be able to take advantage of a Jets offense that is really struggling protecting the quarterback. Zach Wilson, their rookie quarterback, has been sacked 15 times this season, 15 times in 3 games. He's also thrown 7 interceptions for the Jets. So the Titans have to do a great job defensively. If we can hold the Jets anywhere under 16 points today, which I truly expect, the Titans should be able to sneak out of MetLife Stadium with the victory. Now, this is the area that concerns me, the bottom of the screen. If you look at the Jets defense on the bottom right, this is a really good defense, especially since they be on the field a lot because of their offense. They're 10th in yardage per game, but the one that concerns me is rushing yards. They only give up 110 yards per game on the ground, which is 15th in the NFL. Now, a stat that's not shown is their yards per carry. They only give up 3.3 yards per carry, which is in the top 5 defensively against the run. Most of their teams do their damage in the air. But again, when you look at those numbers, it's only 217 yards per game in the air. So the Jets do a very good job on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to stack the box against Derrick Henry today, knowing that A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are going to be out. They're probably going to play a lot of press man coverage on the outside. They're going to force Josh Reynolds. They're going to force Chester Rogers. They're going to force Westbrook-Ikhine. They're going to force those guys to beat them one-on-one. So you may see a little bit more, and we've seen a lot of it already. Derrick Henry out of the backfield. Anthony Fursker will be back today. So he should help in the passing game as far as the tight ends go, and hopefully he will help in the blocking game as well. Now, when you look at the Titans on the left-hand side of the screen, obviously, after week 1, we've done a really good job. 9th in total yards. We're only 15th in points. We only average 23 points a game, which is pretty low for the Titans right now. This is a team that normally is around 29, 30 points a game. So I would expect us to be somewhere in that 23, 24 range today. I would expect the Jets to be somewhere between 14 and 16 points. So I think the Titans will come out on top today. But for me, I do not expect a blowout in this ball game today. So just kind of take a look at those numbers there. I'm going to go ahead and check this inactive list to see what's going on with that. But as you look at those numbers, you will see that the Titans they have a lot to worry about defensively, more than you guys may expect. All right, so the inactive list is up. The inactive list is up. And again, click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. So officially, oh my goodness, officially out for the Titans today. There's always an extra guy that you didn't expect to be out, right? So here we go. Julio Jones obviously is out. A.J. Brown is out. Punter Brett Kern is out. We don't have the FedEx kicker today, thank goodness. So Brett Kern is out, so we'll see how the punting game goes today. Bud Dupree obviously is out. Dylan Redance, he's inactive again. That's the rookie offensive lineman. He hasn't played yet this year, I don't think. Caleb Farley, our first-round pick, he's out again. That was my concern about drafting Caleb Farley, staying healthy. And Micah Sargent is out. We saw Sargent play a little bit, I think 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure if he got in last week against the Colts. But Sargent is inactive today. So I don't see Blasingame being inactive. So perhaps Blasingame is back in the lineup today. So that's going to be interesting. So those are your inactives. No A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Caleb Farley, Brett Kern, Bud Dupree, Dylan Redance, and Micah Sargent. So that's the inactive list. Your thoughts on the inactive list. And then also we get our guy Corey Davis back today. I know, half of Titan Nation love Corey Davis. Half of Titan Nation didn't like Corey Davis, was happy to see him go. I've always been a Corey Davis, well, not always. More recently, I've been a Corey Davis fan since he got with Ryan Tannehill. But he struggled somewhat so far this season, not of his own doing. Corey Davis is still a really good receiver, in my opinion. He's going to have revenge on his mind today. So I would look for Zach Wilson to try to target Corey early and often. Corey knows our defense. He knows our secondary. Now, this is a different secondary as far as the corners go that he was used to, but he got the practice against Christian Fulton. So he knows Fulton. If Breon Borders gets in the game, he's had to practice against Borders. Obviously, he knows Kevin Byard very well. And those guys will all look into that personal matchup today. Corey Davis against that Titans secondary. So interested to see what you guys' thoughts are on the game? Do you think it's a blowout? Do you think the Jets can possibly pull the upset today? We're going to look at our pick six predictions in just a moment. We'll highlight the Colts game, what we think they're going to do today. Of course, the Texans, they're in Buffalo. They're a 17-point underdog today, so they should take the L. And, of course, Jacksonville lost on Thursday Night Football, so they're already down to 0-4 on the season. So the Titans can continue to take a stranglehold on this division if they can go into New York City and take care of business today. Let's get a couple of you guys' comments in here real quick. Titan Rossi, yeah, let's plan something out. I will hit you up on Twitter, no doubt. Clowney Super Bowl. At one point, do we activate this with Patrick or Mason Kinsley? Man, I thought it would be this week for one of those guys. I thought one of those guys would be on the active roster this week. I'm trying to see if there is an update of which receivers will be active today. I do not see that as of yet. So hopefully we can get that information as to exactly which Titans will be on the field here today. So if anybody sees that online, just put it up on the message board in the comment section. Johnny Townsend will be the punter today. Don't know much about him. So hopefully he can just catch the ball and punt the football. So we'll see what happens there. Let's dive into our pick six predictions. We're doing really good on those so far this year. We're 11-6-1 on our predictions. So if you guys like to bet on the games, these have been really, really profitable for you. K-More Sports Report. So let's go ahead and check out those pick six predictions, and then we'll dive a little bit more into this Jets-Titans matchup coming up in about an hour and 20 minutes. So let's jump into that real quick. All right, so the first matchup on the board is the Colts going to Miami down in the heat and humidity. The Colts come into this ball game as a 2-point underdog. Obviously, Carson Wentz still battling the ankle injuries. We found out that Quentin Nelson, their all-pro left guard, he went to the injured reserve list. So he will be on IR for the next 3 weeks at least. The Colts have really struggled offensively, not running the football. So I think Miami is going to cover this spread. They're going to push the Colts to 0-4 on the season, which would be huge for Tennessee. We like the Colts in this ball game this afternoon. So if you're betting on this one, I would take the Dolphins and the 2-point spread. Next up, Carolina and Dallas. Again, this is a very interesting ball game as well. Cowboys look real good a couple of weeks, or last week, I should say, on Monday Night Football against Philadelphia. They played. Carolina, they beat Houston 10 days ago here in H-Town. Now, they will be without Christian McCaffrey, and J.C. Horn, I think their number one pick, their cornerback. They're a 4.5-point spread. The Cowboys are favored in this one, but the Panthers had 10 days off. The Cowboys only had 6 days off. I think that's a big factor, and the Panthers have a top 5 defense in the NFL. I take the Panthers to cover the 4.5-point spread against the Dallas Cowboys. Next game on the board, New York Giants in New Orleans to take on the Saints. Now, this will be the Saints' first game at home in New Orleans. Of course, they had Hurricane Ida a couple of months ago. The team has been practicing in Dallas for the entire preseason. So they have not played a game in New Orleans. This will be their first game at home. The Giants come in as a 7.5-point underdog. That number, I think, has dropped to 7 points now. A lot of money coming in on the Giants. But I'm going to take the Giants because the New Orleans offense has not looked good with Jameis Winston. They're in the bottom half of the NFL right now. They do have a great defense, but I think 7.5 points, even though the Giants will be missing two of their receivers. Sterling Shepard will be out, but they still have Kenny Golladay available. And of course, they have Saquon Barkley, who's continually to get stronger from his injury. So we're going to take the Giants plus the 7.5 on the road in New Orleans. I expect New Orleans to win. I just do not trust that they're going to cover that 7.5 point spread. Now, this is another big game on the schedule, particularly in the AFC, when it comes to the Tennessee Titans. And when you start getting deeper into the year, you start thinking about home field advantage. The Ravens on the road against the undefeated Denver Broncos. The Broncos have beaten the Jets, the Giants, and the Jaguars, the three worst teams in the NFL. The Ravens come in as a 1 point underdog. At least the Ravens were a 1 point underdog earlier in the week. I think the line may have flipped on that. The Ravens may be a 1 point favorite now. But nevertheless, we like Baltimore in this game. Denver has not been battle tested as of yet. They have a good team, but we don't know how good they are because they have not faced a true strong NFL opponent. So we're going to take the Baltimore Ravens to go 3-1 on the season and knock off the undefeated Denver Broncos. And finally, on the pick six today, we have, or almost finally, second to last, we got Seattle and San Francisco. This is a big game in the NFC West. Seattle comes into this ball game favored, or actually they're the underdog. Seattle is the underdog. They are on the road in San Francisco. This is a must win for Seattle. This is probably their biggest game of the season to this point. Obviously, the Titans came back and beat them 2 weeks ago. Then they lost a tough game on the road to Minnesota last week. Now they have to go on the road to San Francisco. But I believe they have beaten San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken, 7 of the last 8 times. I like Russell Wilson and the Seahawks to bounce back against Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers. I like Seattle plus 3 points to cover the spread. And now the final game in our pick six predictions is Pittsburgh Steelers against the Green Bay Packers. Again, another important game for AFC jockeying position. If the Steelers can lose this game, it would almost knock them out of contending in the AFC North because they have Baltimore. Cincinnati is 3-1. Cleveland has a chance to go to 3-1 today. So this is a huge game for the Steelers. They come in as a 6.5 point underdog to the Packers. I just don't think the Steelers have enough offensively. They have 2 rookie starters on the offensive line. They have a rookie running back, although he's supposed to be good, Najee Harris from Alabama. Claypool, probably their best receiver, from what I understand, is going to be out for this ball game today against Green Bay. So all that added up, Green Bay at home, weather could be a factor today as well, as far as rain in Wisconsin. I like the Cheeseheads to cover the 6.5 point spread against the Packers. So just a little recap of the picks that I have this morning. I like Miami. I like Carolina. I like the Giants to cover the spread. Baltimore, we like them to go into Denver and win. We like Seattle to cover the 3 point spread against San Francisco. And we like Green Bay to cover the 6.5 point spread late today against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So those are your pick six predictions. Like them, love them. We're 11-6-1 on the season. And we've done a pretty good job so far with the picks. So hopefully we can continue to make you guys some money with that. All right. So now let's get back to this Titans-Jets game. And we didn't pick that one today. The Titans are about a 7.5 point favorite, but that line has moved dramatically. Let me check the latest line. So a lot of money has been coming in on the New York Jets. That game opened with the Titans favored by 7.5. The Titans are now down to a 6-point favorite. So what that means is a lot of people in Vegas are putting their money on the New York Jets. Now that could be a good thing, because usually when a lot of money comes in on one team, the other team finds a way to cover the spread. That's kind of how it works in Vegas. That's why they have all those casinos. So I kind of like the fact that a lot of people are betting on the Jets. And they're probably not betting on the Jets to win the game, but betting on the Jets that, the Titans have a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. They're probably not going to be able to score enough points to cover that spread. And as we talked about earlier, the Jets have one of the best run defenses in the NFL. They give up less than 4 yards per carry. So it could be tough for Derrick Henry in the first half of this ball game. Again, Todd Downing, offensive coordinator, he needs to come out throwing the football. Yeah, I know you don't have AJ and Julio, but you didn't throw it early in the games when you had those guys. So get the ball to Westbrook-Akina. Try to get the ball to Cam Batson. Try to get Chester Rogers involved. Get Josh Reynolds involved. You have Anthony Fursker now, Ryan Tannehill security blanket. Get those guys involved early in the game. Don't try to slam Derrick Henry in there against a top 5 run defense. Don't end up in 2nd and 12, 2nd and 10, because that's what the Jets are going to expect to happen today. So if you got to get Jeremy McNichols some touches on the outside, you just have to mix up the offense. So hopefully Todd Downing will do that today. I have been very impressed, I must say, with Shane Bowen. We all criticized Mike Vrabel for promoting Shane Bowen in the offseason and not going out and getting an established defensive coordinator. But I have to give Shane Bowen a lot of credit. He's been good so far this year. Titans have gotten a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. Hasn't always resulted in a sack, but the pressure has been there. And the guys have done, outside of that Seattle game, the guys have done a pretty good job on the back end, making some adjustments. So let's get some of you guys' comments in here. A lot of you guys are in here watching, so let's make sure we get you guys involved in the show. Captain Trips, hopefully Josh Reynolds does something. Hopefully he will do something other than get illegal motion penalty like he got in that Seattle game. I think that's the only thing he has in the stat sheet so far this year. Rossi, I would like to see them call up Mason today. I would, man. If you guys have any information on that, I really haven't been able to find anything yet. So hopefully Mason, Des Fitzpatrick, maybe even the guy that was on Taylor, Marcus Johnson. Hopefully, I know he was possibly next in line to get the call up if he's healthy. So we'll see what happens there. Quan, thank you for joining the show, Quan. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that like button for us, and hit that subscribe button as well. So he says he wants to see McMath finally get some catches. Yeah, it would be nice to see McMath get involved in the game. I know he's been more involved in special teams than anything else, so we'll see what happens there. My boy T.A. in the house. I really think Batson could come in and make some crucial catches. I think it's important to try to use Batson's speed in this game, if nothing else, as a decoy, because with AJ and Julio out, you really don't have a deep threat that can go downfield. So if you can just send Batson down 3 or 4 times today on a fly route, a post route, try to make those Jets safeties back up. By the way, the Jets are out 2 safeties today as well. So keep that in mind. The Titans are without some wide receivers. The Jets are without a couple of guys in the secondary. So hopefully that will counterbalance itself. Jets are desperate for a win. It won't be easy. I don't know how desperate the Jets are for a win. I think the Jets are just desperate to play some competent football. The Jets are desperate to protect their quarterback. I don't think for the Jets it's all about winning and losing this year. especially early in the season. They're a team that just wants to see some progress. So if they can come out and play within one possession of the Titans, make it a close game, I think Jets fans will be happy with that. Miss Margarita's in the house. Miss Margarita, thank you for joining the show. Always see you on social media. Happy belated birthday. Miss Margarita celebrated a big birthday this past week. And so shout out to you. Make sure you become a regular participant. Thank you for hopping in. She's excited for the twos to get their time to shine. I'm not scared they waited for this day. Hey, man, as I always talk about, you have a practice squad for a reason. It's not about your best 46 or 53-man roster. It's about your best 69-man roster. And J-Rob, he's done a great job putting this ball club together. The Titans have great depth outside of the number ones, and the 2s, 3s, and 4s, they have done a good job so far this year. Yes, Miss Margarita. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it. My boy, Mr. Titan in the house. We had a big video on his show yesterday, so make sure you guys go check out Mr. Titan. We did a preview on his show yesterday. We do that every Friday. We try to do it every Friday. So make sure you check him out. And great content over there as well. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper into this ball game coming up close to the top of the hour. We'll let you guys get out of here in just a moment. In case you're joining the show late, among the inactives today, obviously we know the big guys: Bud Dupree, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Caleb Farley, Sargent, third-string running back. He's also inactive today, and of course Brett Kern is inactive. And you always wonder about special teams with the Titans. It's like every week. I don't know if there's been a week where the Titans have had their punter and their kicker together. It's always a change. And here's the important thing when it comes to Brett Kern being out. Brett Kern is also the holder on field goal and extra point attempts. A lot of people don't think about that. So you wonder how that will affect Randy Bullock today, right? I don't worry about the punting game so much as I worry about those field goals and extra points, because obviously they lead directly to the numbers on the scoreboard. So watch, when you're watching the game today, see if we're getting clean snaps, clean holds. I'm not sure who the holder is going to be today. It may be Logan Woodside. Normally it will default to the backup quarterback to be the holder today. So keep an eye when the Titans are kicking field goals and extra points. Hopefully there'll be a lot of them today. But regardless, make sure that you're watching that situation, because special teams, as we all know from the Indianapolis Colts game last year, special teams can win and lose you a game. 3 phases to the team. And I'm hoping that the Titans return game gets a little bit better as well. They did a really good job in preseason, but in the regular season, their return game has not been good at all. A lot of teams have been kicking the ball not through the end zone, just kind of dropping it down at the 5-yard line, making the Titans bring it out. And very rarely do the Titans get past the 20-yard line. And what that does offensively, it forces Tannehill and that offense to try to go 80 yards to score. And thus, again, you see the Titans only averaging 23 points per game right now. A lot of that has to do with starting field position. You're starting at your own 20, own 15-yard line. It's very, very difficult for those drives to result in points, especially the way the Titans play. The Titans don't take a lot of deep shots downfield to get those big chunk plays that you see kind of with the LA Rams. If you watch the LA Rams play, they take a lot of deep shots downfield. Deshaun Jackson and Cooper Kupp. The Titans, they like to grind it out. So you're looking at 10, 12, 15 play drives, and that's very difficult to do in the NFL. So that's where special teams comes into play. Setting your team up in good field position, the punt return team, the kickoff return team, and then, of course, making sure that we can convert on those extra points and all of that good stuff. And so, of course, coming up tomorrow night, we will have Titans the day after, where we will break down what happened today during the ball game. We'll take a look at our pick six results. Of course, we do the good, the bad, the concerning, where we break down three key areas of what went right, what went wrong in the ball game. And again, a lot of great action going on in week 4 here today. Any other areas of concern for you guys? Looks like Jayon Brown will be back today. David Long has done a tremendous job filling in for Jaylen Brown so far early in the season. Excuse me. We haven't seen a lot of Rashard Evans. Well, we've seen a lot of Rashard Evans. We haven't seen a lot of impact from Rashard Evans. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, the outside linebackers for the Titans have been great so far this year. Harold Landry's had a really good year. Ola Adeniyi, he had a breakout game last week. I think he leads the team with 2.5 sacks. He had another sack taken away on penalty. So the Titans just doing an all-around, really, really good job defensively up front. Still waiting for Jeffrey Simmons to have that impact game. He had a couple of nice plays last week. He got up and deflected one pass, I think, on a critical third down against the Colts. So he's been steady, but he really hasn't had that breakout performance yet. I think Murchison is out for this game. So we may see a lot of Tierre Tart. Still waiting for him to have a breakout game as well. And then when you look at the back end of the Titans secondary, Jack Rabbit's been kind of up and down. Christian Fulton has been a dog on the other side. I think right now he's the second or third graded cornerback in the NFL. So the Titans may have their shutdown corner that they've been looking for the last several years in Christian Fulton. And then, of course, on the back end at safety, Kevin Byers had a pretty good year so far this season. And Cruikshank has really come in and been the surprise of the secondary. After Malik Hooker got hurt, after McDougal gave up those big plays against Seattle and got cut, Cruikshank has really stepped up defensively to help the Titans in that secondary. So all around, I really cannot be disappointed with the Titans secondary at all. Let's get a couple of more you guys' comments in here as well. DO9 Motivation in the house. Thanks for joining the show, man. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. Are we ready today? Everybody thinks this is a cakewalk. This will not be a cakewalk, guys. Titans don't have cakewalks. Titans don't have cakewalk. When's the last time the Titans had a cakewalk? Probably when we beat Indy in Indy last year. And that came out of nowhere, that we were able to blow Indianapolis out last year. But the Titans don't do cakewalks, especially against teams that they should do cakewalks against. So I don't think this is going to be an easy game. If we were fully loaded offensively, that would be great. I did not even pick this game because I don't know if we can score enough points today to cover a 6 or 7 point spread. So we'll see what happens. Again, guys, kind of forgive my voice. I did a college football broadcast yesterday. Texas Southern University won their first game yesterday here in Houston for homecoming. So shout out to those guys. TA, hit me up on Twitter. Hey, hit up TA, man. 5Ks. He's got some great content. I would definitely love to join the show. Definitely love to have you in here as well. So make sure you guys check out Titan Anderson. He has some great stuff. Him and Titan Upload always do a great job in providing content on the Tennessee Titans. So again, thank you guys for hopping in this morning. I apologize. Got a little bit of a late start this morning. But the Titans against the Jets coming up in less than an hour. You have your pick six picks. We'll do our Titans the day after show tomorrow night. So make sure that you guys tune in for that. That show comes on at 9:05 Central Time. So a little bit after halftime, we're doing halftime of the Monday night football game. So huge games across the AFC South today. Houston goes into Buffalo. That should be an L for them. Jacksonville already lost. I will be keeping a close eye on that Miami-Indianapolis game. I'll have 2 TVs up, so I'll be watching both of those games simultaneously to see if Miami can knock off the Colts, push them to 0-4, and then if the Titans can pull out a win, go to 3-1 before we get back into the division next week against Jacksonville. And Jacksonville's been looking very frisky, I will say. The Jags have gotten a little bit better each and every week. So that may be a tougher battle as well in Jacksonville next week against the Jaguars. So you guys enjoy your Sunday afternoon of football. As we mentioned, we will see you guys tomorrow night against as we look back at this game. And it should just be a great game this afternoon. Hopefully the Titans can come out on top. Hopefully everyone will have a great Sunday as the Titans and Jets go at it from MetLife Stadium. Anybody know what the weather is up there? I know it's bad weather in Green Bay. I'm not sure any bad weather in the Northeast. If it's bad weather, it may be advantage Titans. See how much Derrick Henry will run the football. Oh, by the way, before I go, any of you guys concerned about the number of carries, a number of touches for Derrick Henry? I'm very concerned that Derrick Henry has almost twice as many carries as the next highest running back in the NFL. So that's something to keep an eye on today. Hopefully we can get Jeremy McNichols more involved in the running game, try to give Derrick Henry a little bit of rest. Rocky in the house. What's up, Ken? He's predicting a Titan blowout. Rocky, I hope you're right, my man. I hope you're right. The Titans rarely blow anybody out, but if anybody is to be blown out, it would be the New York Jets. Blue 5133. Tighten up. Love your content. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for joining the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And guys, make sure you share out the video. That's how we get more subscribers. You share out that video, we get more subscribers, helps us to add more content to the show. Again, thank you guys for joining today. The K Moore Sports Report, Titans, Jets, coming up in less than an hour. Let's go Titans. Let's go to 3-1. See you guys tomorrow night on Titans the day after. Have a great Sunday.